The rebuild blueprint. We made it. We made it to the rebuild. But before we talk about building anything new, I want us to really honor something. We survived what tried to break us. And sometimes it's still trying to break us. But we're here and we survived it. And some of us are rebuilding after a job loss, a relationship ending, a friendship ending, a betrayal, a season of burnout, being a caretaker, a health scare, a betrayal, a loss, and a version of ourselves that we had to outgrow and stretch. And stretching, when you've been moving in dysfunction, can sometimes be so challenging. And here's what's real: rebuilding is not just a fresh start. Rebuilding is a decision we're going to have to make every single day when nobody is looking and nobody is clapping. Because detoxing, it's the clearing, but rebuilding is the construction. And construction requires a blueprint. And so today is the blueprint. And it's not about perfection, it's not about pressure, but what it is, it's a plan that we could actually live with, a rhythm our nervous system can sustain. So let's rebuild with grace in this space. Hey y'all, I'm Madison Samone Chase, also known as Miss Chase. I was raised by an incredible single mom who is my biggest fan and my BFF, my best friend forever. I am a celebrity certified personal trainer, fitness and wellness expert, and sports and entertainment media host. I was born in Fort Worth, Texas, raised in Dallas, Texas, built in Los Angeles, California. I trained at Juilliard with School of American Ballet, becoming the world's only three-time ESPN Miss Fitness champion, appearing in more than 450 fitness DVDs. And the first of the 450 fitness DVDs was led by the GOAT, celebrity trainer Gunnar Peterson, who's known for training the Kardashian family, Kim Kardashian, and her mom, Kris Jenner, and sister Khloe. As a celebrity trainer, some of my most notable clients include Robert Pattinson of Twilight and Batman, Chris Tucker of Rush Hour, and Amber Riley of Glee. As a sports and entertainment media host, some of my favorite red carpet moments include chatting with Richard Branson, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Emma Stone, Tyler Perry, Tiana Taylor, Justin Baldoni, Issa Rae, and Viola Davis, to name a few. I share my accomplishments for a couple of reasons. One, not out of ego, but two, to honor my mom and the millions of sacrifices that my mom planted in me so that I could blossom and flourish into the woman I am still becoming. And also, this may be your first time listening. So if you are listening and or watching, I want you to pull up a digital chair or an actual chair and grab yourself a cup of hot or cold herbal tea, and welcome to my cozy home of Cut to the Chase at 8. A 15-minute micro learning moment for macro living. And I am so overjoyed that you are here. This is where we explore and lean into life with our lived experiences, yours and mine, where we invite lots of grace into this space because we are living in some interesting times. We chat all about spirit, mind, and body health that is ultimately our wealth in micro doses for macro living. Make sure you join me twice daily for just 15 minutes at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, because this is your 15-minute chance for your daily pause for a cause, clarity, wellness, grace, and intentional decision making. Because how we start our day and how we end it matters. Each episode, my offer to you is 3 keys and 1 question to sit with and hopefully encourage you to give yourself grace in this space with something practical, something grounded, and something you and I could carry with us throughout our day. So wherever you're listening from, I want you to turn it up and tune in. And if anything you hear today pricks your heart or it lights a spark, I'd love for you to subscribe and share this with someone you care about. And please leave a comment so that this becomes a dialogue and not a monologue. And if you feel led, please leave a 5-star rating or send me a text. Now, let's take a breath together. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's lean into today's episode of Cut to the Chase at 8. Let's cut the noise. Let's get clear. And let's get ready, set to go and grow and be great. The title for today's episode again is The Rebuild Blueprint. So here's what a blueprint does. It keeps us from rebuilding based on emotion. And our emotions can change based on a lot of things, right? We could be emotional because of the weather. We could be emotional because of something simple that happens or something simple that doesn't happen, something that we want to happen. Because when we don't have a blueprint, we tend to build on impulse. We rush, we get discombobulated, we overcommit, we overshare, and we try to prove that we're okay. And we create the same conditions that continue to drain us day after day after day. A rebuild blueprint is simple. It answers 3 really important questions. Question number 1, what am I releasing? Question number 2, what am I replacing it with? Question number 3, what is my daily rhythm going forward? And yes, this is spirit, mind, and body. Because if your spirit is strong, but your body is exhausted, we will crash. It's inevitable. So our mind is clear, but sometimes our relationships are chaotic. And if they're chaotic, what happens in chaos? It's moving in all kinds of different directions, and we eventually still spiral. And in order for us to rebuild, we have to rebuild as close to being whole as we can. Which brings me to part 1, the clearing. What you're not bringing with you. Let's start with the truth. We can't rebuild while carrying everything from the old season. Have you ever tried to move forward? Like today, I had a bunch of stuff in my hand, and if you've ever been traveling and you have a bunch of bags and you're trying to not pay that $50, and when you're trying to carry a bunch of stuff, it's hard for you to move. And so before we could build, we got to clear things out. And we can't rebuild while we're carrying everything from the old version of us or the old season, right? We got to lean into something different. And we got to lean into something that's actually lean. And so the clearing is not dramatic. It's really just honest. And sometimes that's hard because when we haven't been honest with other people, it's really hard for us to be honest with ourselves. So this is where we get a chance to decide what is no longer allowed. The question is, what patterns keep you small? And patterns could be as simple as getting up in the morning and how you start your day. Patterns could be as simple as what you do before you go to bed because sleep is important. And patterns could be the people that you keep managing that you don't necessarily have to manage. Because if people are draining you, then why are you managing them? Unless they're paying you, then that's different. Environments that activate your nervous system. We get a chance to recreate those environments. Again, this is part of the PPT audit, the people, places, and things audit. Spending habits that numb you. Like sometimes we get on autopilot. of spending the same thing over and over and over, especially if it's not necessity. Conversations that drain you. And then this is this is a big one. The need to be understood by everyone. There's this quote that I've heard, and it says, "What you think of me, it's none of my business." And I like that. Like, literally, like, I'm so concerned with staying focused with what I think about myself and making sure that I clear out the things that don't align with my purpose and my calling, that I'm really not interested. Or sometimes we could say we're not interested, but we really are. So we got to ask ourselves, are we really interested in people's opinions of us? And the other saying that I like is, never makes someone a priority when they've only made you an option. Sometimes we prioritize what other people think when they're not really, they're an option. They're not a priority. We should be our first priority. So the question is, are you the person that needs to be understood or accepted by everyone? And if so, then how can you alter that and focus on making yourself the priority, your thoughts the priority, what you think about yourself the priority? And then do a check to see if those things are positive. There's a great book called Success Through A Positive Mental Attitude, Napoleon Hill's great book. Or Who Moved My Cheese? Simple, super easy book. Very easy read. Okay. So, what you're tolerating is a question. And what are you no longer available for? And then the old you. What habit are you going to bury? Because this is a detox to rebuild and bridge. And we don't just stop something, we got to stop feeding it. Because what we feed grows. And that could work positively or negatively. So you got to ask yourself and do an inventory. Are you feeding yourself positively, or are you feeding yourself negatively? And that's a hard thing to do, to check those thoughts, which brings me to key number 1. Rebuild starts with subtraction. Remove what leaks our power. And rebuilding begins when we protect our peace, like it's part of the construction crew, because it really is. Which brings me to part number 2, the foundation, systems over willpower. Now let's talk about systems. Most people don't fail because they lack desire. They fail because they rebuild with feelings and vibes and energy and not structure. And our blueprint needs a few simple systems. A morning system, how you start your day. Is it healing? Is it positive? Is it motivating? Is it honest? And is it going to set your day up for success? Are you praying? Are you meditating? Are you visualizing how you want your day to be? Are you speaking fear, or are you speaking faith? A closing system, how you end your day. A communication system, how you respond, and then how don't you. A money system, what you spend, what you save, and what you stop funding. A people system, who gets access and how much. Because our lives will always expand to the level of the system supporting it. And what's one system that you're working on that you don't have yet? Like your sleep, your phone boundaries, your meal prep, your budgeting, your scheduling, your prayer time, your quiet time, your movement. And here's the part that's hard to hear. If we keep rebuilding with random, my mom likes to call them knickknacks, we will keep getting random results. And structure is not restriction. Structure is protection. Structure is self-respect. Which brings me to key number 2. Our blueprint needs systems, not moods, not feelings, and structure is self respect. And when we create structure, we create safety. And when we create safety, our nervous system stops bracing for impact. Which brings me to part three, the rhythm, a rebuild we can sustain. Now let's talk about rhythm because rhythm is where most people relapse. We rebuild and then we sprint. We rebuild and then we overcommit. We rebuild, then we try to make up for lost time. But our blueprint needs a sustainable rhythm and something we could do when we're tired, something we could do when life happens, something we could do without applause. And here's a simple rebuild rhythm: one thing for your spirit, one thing for your mind, one thing for your body that you could do every day and build on those things. Just 3 things that you could rebuild. Not 10 things, just one. And then we repeat them until it becomes identity. Those are those micro habits that turns into macro living. And so one of those things out of 3 can be prayer time, quiet time, reading, journaling, walking, stretching, movement. Because consistency is not boring. Consistency is how we become unshakable and planted and rooted in who we are. Which brings me to key number 3. Small reps compound. Because consistency is the miracle that we've been looking for. So small reps are the micro habits. And we don't need a perfect week. We just need a repeatable day. So here's our practical reset. Number 1, write your rebuild blueprint on 1 page. I want you to write 3 things. Number 1, write your rebuild blueprint on 1 page and say, I release. What are you releasing? And then whatever you're releasing, I want you to write, I replace with. And then the next one, I want you to write, my daily rhythm is. And then number 2, I want you to choose one non-negotiable for 7 days, just one. It could be your sleep window, your phone boundary, your daily walk, your prayer time, your budgeting, checking in with yourself. And then number 3, do a people, places, and things check, a PPT audit. Ask, does this support the rebuild or sabotage it? Number 4, make one quiet decision that proves you are serious. Delete the thread. Set the boundary. Move the money. Clean the space. And say no. And remember, rebuilding is not loud, but rebuilding is consistent. So before you go, I just want to say thank you from the bottom and top of my heart. It has truly been an honor and a pleasure sharing this time with you. And thank you for continuing to give yourself grace in this space with me today. I am so genuinely thankful that you chose to step into this cozy digital home with me. And before you head out, let's quickly revisit our 3 keys and one reflection question from today's episode. Key number 1, rebuilding starts with subtraction. Remove what is leaking your power. Key number 2, your blueprint needs a system, not moods, not feelings, but structure, because structure is self-respect. Key number 3, small reps compound. Consistency is the miracle. And our one question to sit with for this episode: what is one system that I will put in place this week that protects my peace and supports the life I'm rebuilding? So if today's episode offered you clarity, insight, or even a pause for a cause you didn't know you needed, if there's anything that I shared that pricked your heart or lit a spark, I'd love for you to subscribe and share this with someone you care about. And leave a comment so that this becomes a dialogue and not a monologue, and a 5-star rating, because it truly helps this space to grow and reach others who may need it. And before we close, I want to extend a couple of gentle invitations. If you've been listening consistently and reflecting and acting and moving just beyond listening, and you want to move into a community of like minded people, I'd love for you to consider becoming a Chasers Champion Circle founding member, a C3 founding member. It's a foundational community for people who want to build and grow together and eventually help shape what this space will become. And I'd be honored to have you be a part of that beginning. So send me an email at hellomc at cuttothechasepodcast.com. So that's hello MC Madison Chase at cuttothechase at 8podcast.com. So thank you for joining me here twice a day for our daily 15-minute microdose from macro living. And before we close, I want to share something new with you. Every 15th of every month, there are new episodes that will be dropping. 15 new episodes will drop on the 15th of every month. I like the number 15, and I will try my best to stay at 15 minutes. That is the goal. And maybe when I start that first episode, it may be a little bit longer so we could go over what we're going to actually be covering in that season. And so March 15th will be season number 3, and we will talk about what we're going to cover in that season. So let's close with one breath together. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. and again at 8 p.m. Central. Actually, I'll see you on March 15th. That'll be the next time you hear an episode. I am Madison Samone Chase, and this is Cut to the Chase at 8. We are ready, and we are set, and we are going and growing. And let's be clear, and let's be great. Blessings to you and yours until tomorrow or until March 15th. Thank you so much for listening.